Here's a theme song, you know it's not a mean song. It's a good song, just as it should song. American brews and tunes. Shibbity-beeby-dow!
Who said we're back? You said we're back.
We're back.
Exactly.
We're back.
This is episode number 91
of
American Brews and Tunes.
What a great number.
My name is Stephen Johnston.
And my name is Jesse Titus. You want to know why 91 is the best number? One of the best numbers?
Because 1991.
That's right. Yes. 1991, one of the best years ever to be born.
It's on my back, as you all can see. Anyways, last week, what did we do last week? Last week we
was a
reviewed
one-off, right?
Kid A.
Kid A, yeah.
That
Ooh.
little album.
That intense, crazy, enigmatic. It's an enigma. That's what I'm trying to say.
But in the grand scheme of things, it is nay but a blip in time.
True. But what else? What is not nay but a blip in time?
Time itself.
Well, I don't really think that works.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to be
maybe. No, well, I was going to say consciousness, but who knows? Maybe eventually the robots will take over and they won't be conscious the same way we are.
Are you talking about collective consciousness?
Maybe, yeah.
Because otherwise, it would be everyone's individual consciousness, which is indeed a blip in time.
Yeah. Isn't that what some people believe? That, like, some people's version of God is like a collective consciousness that everybody is a part of?
Could be. That sounds like something someone would believe.
I don't know.
And
then we all return to the stars from whence we came.
When we look at the stars.
Because, what is it? Neil deGrasse Tyson is always like, just remember that. That we're all made out of stardust because stars have carbon in them and we're mostly carbon.
Here's what I think of when I think of Neil deGrasse Tyson. Oh, I watched that movie, and it is not scientifically accurate.
Yeah. Now, let me tell you why.
He's a funny guy to watch.
He is.
He's
also very, very enthusiastic about getting people to understand basics of science, which is kind of nice.
He's gung-ho for science.
He is.
Astrophysicist.
He's an astrophysicist, yeah.
Interesting guy.
He likes the stars. Anyway.
Yeah.
He also was oh, never mind. He wasn't ever a boxer. Maybe he was. Was he ever a boxer?
Yeah. Joe Rogan pulled up a picture of him when he was in his youth. And he was a boxer wrestler, and he was jacked.
Yeah,
this was like high school days.
Yeah.
But far from it now.
Anyway.
Back to the matter at hand. We're back to our regular scheduled episode in which one of us reviews an album recommended by the other.
Yeah.
And on this wonderful week,
Yeah.
just going by astrophysicists, and there's a lot of them from Germany because the whole Operation Paperclip. But that's for another podcast.
What?
You'll have to look into that. Operation Paperclip. The U.S. government doesn't want you to know.
Like Clippy?
No, like they brought in like Nazi scientists and just like,
oh yeah,
you're forgiven. Just
I forgot about
give us
that.
your smarts.
Yeah, just give us all the information that you guys have gathered, and it's all good.
Yeah,
forgot about that.
I'm fairly certain that's Operation Paperclip.
I also forgot about Clippy from the computer.
I love Clippy.
Old computers.
Yeah.
He was
you
always
need
like,
assistance with finding how to save a Word document?
And I was always like, no, shut up, Clippy.
I was like,
I don't need your
Clippy.
help.
I'll tell you what I used to like. I used to like changing my cursor to something fun. You could change it to like animated cursors.
Yeah, couldn't you like have it be like an ice cream cone or like a...
It was like
you could have it be anything.
Have it be anything.
The good old days when computers were fun.
Yeah.
Now they're just annoying.
Well, they can be fun, but
they're not annoying.
They're just not as new.
The good old days when changing your cursor was like a really novel and fun idea.
Hey, that was like the best time of my life. I was like,
and now it's just like,
what?
Now it's just like you change your cursor, then you see someone with a PC and they're like, check out all these LED neon lights that I have in here. And whatnot.
Something like that, I guess.
Oh, anyway, back on topic.
Back on topic. This week, Jesse is reviewing an album I recommended for him, which is
"Enemy of the World" by 4 Year Strong.
Very nice. I almost thought you were going to say "Enema of the World," just like "Enema of the State."
No.
But
not
that's
Enema of the World.
Combination
Enemy.
of Blink-182 and 4 Year Strong. I think
Yeah.
4 Year Strong covered Blink-182 on one of those weird cover albums.
Did they?
Didn't like it.
Didn't like it.
Yeah, but that's neither here nor there. But it also is here and kind of there. But We'll touch it. Jesse will give you his thoughts on this album in but a minute.
Yeah.
Before we get there, let's try a new brew, shall we?
Yeah, this is part 1, so we're trying one beer during this album, and then once Steve reviews his album in the next episode, we will review another beer.
Yeah, so what are we reviewing on this episode?
This week, we were actually funny, we were talking about space earlier.
Yeah.
Is that why you started talking about space?
No. You just started talking about Neil deGrasse Tyson, right?
Yeah.
No, Blip in Time.
Blip in Time. And then Stardust, and we're made of Stardust. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to retrace my steps there for a second because I was confused. Because the reason I was confused is because we are trying Stone, one of their beers called Viking Space Probe.
Ooh, we're back to Stone, one of our faves.
Yeah, definitely one of our faves. It is a double IPA. And let me give you a quick read ski of what's on the back. A hoppy cosmic nebula. In the spirit of all the exploratory missions deployed across the galaxy, be they spacecrafts, Viking or other, we're constantly probing the world of beer back here on Earth. That quest has brought us to this latest creation, which comes from our brewing team at Stone Brewing, Napa, which with a subtle haze reminiscent of some far-off nebula and further complemented with the juicy flavors of Ella and Citra hops, this beer is most definitely out of this world, created to be enjoyed on Earth. But if intelligent life does exist out there, we're pretty sure they'll like it too.
Pretty sure.
So that's a lot of talk.
So it's a hazy IPA, double IPA from Stone.
It just says unfiltered double IPA.
Yeah, well, let's see how hazy that actually is.
I think it is kind of reminiscent. It's probably going to be reminiscent of a New England style IPA, but it might not be as juicy.
Yeah.
I would have guessed because it's Stone. Oops, I'm cracking it open.
Yeah, go ahead. Crack it open.
Ooh. Yeah. Pour it out in the glass.
It looks pretty hazy.
It looks semi-hazy. You think that's about 6 ounces?
Probably about that. I think it's about
there.
Hazy as a lot of the other hazy IPAs.
Ooh, it smells really good. Okay, so right off the bat, if you smell it, you can definitely smell some really nice citrus.
Well, if you look at my container, my glass,
did you get more sediment?
Look at the sediment.
Yeah, there definitely is some.
Mine's very sedimented.
Let me try to get some of the. Maybe there's some more in there. A little bit of residual sediment.
It smells juicy. It smells juicy.
Real juicy.
Yeah.
It smells kind of sweet.
Not too far off from what you might smell from Bearded Iris. Not quite their signature smell,
it's definitely not quite as dank as Bearded Iris.
It's closer to what you would expect from them. This is probably the haziest IPA I've seen from Stone.
Yes, agreed.
Curious. It looks good.
The haze is coming.
I don't even know who that is.
Oh yeah, you've never watched Game of Thrones.
But if I had to guess, I'd say he gets his head cut off.
Spoiler alert, he does.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen...
Boromir gets decapitated.
Yeah, Ned Stark. Sean Bean.
Sean Bean loses his head.
Pretty much dies in anything that he's in.
Does he?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure...
doesn't die in... what's the movie where they steal the Declaration of Independence?
National Treasure.
But he goes to jail.
That's true, which is essentially dying, except in society.
He's dying to freedom.
Yeah. That movie was great.
It was. The second one, not so much.
No.
I hear they're making a third. I'll
really?
still see it.
Well, that's Nicolas Cage. He'll probably be ridiculous.
I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence. This smells really good.
I'm more of a Declaration protector. Anyway, let's give this a shot.
Yeah, let's give it a try and see what we think. As we always say on American Brews and Tunes, down the haze hatch.
Down the space hatch.
Down the space hatch. That's even better. The space haze.
Oh, wow.
It's more bitter than a lot of the other New England IPAs I've had.
That's kind of what I thought it was going to be.
It's bitter, like it's a classic Stone bitter flavor, too.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know what hops are specifically in this.
Maybe it's the Ella.
But it tastes like a Stone beer, but it definitely is hazy and juicy. So
this beer is Ella good.
It is Ella good. Hell yeah. I don't know. This is, if you were to say Stone did a New England IPA, this is the exact representation of it. It's not like they're copying someone else. It's just their version of it because it tastes like a Stone beer. It doesn't taste like a copycat of another beer. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, it's good. I like this.
That makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Not that copying's bad. It's just this has this has their signature all over it.
Yeah. It's just like whenever you can, you could put like a Bearded Iris New England IPA next to this Stone one, next to, I don't know, name any other hazy IPA. You didn't. That was like a rhetorical thing to say.
I'll name one.
Okay.
Bearded Iris Homestyle.
No, other than Bearded Iris and Stone.
Southern Grist Haze beers.
Sure. What I'm saying is if you put those three beers side by side, I'd be able to say, yeah, that's a Stone beer.
Absolutely.
Based on how it tastes, and yeah, that's a Bearded Iris beer because of how it tastes. They each have their own little signature.
Yeah, they're good. They're all good. This is good. I'm happy with it.
And you want to know what's not good? This album by 4 Year Strong. Just kidding.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, when I recommended it, I figured there was going to be some things that you weren't going to be too fond of on there.
Yeah. So whenever I first listened to this album, I knew one song off of it, the "Find My Way Back."
Mm-hmm.
Probably one of the most popular songs on the album. I'm guessing.
One of them, but not the most.
Not the most. Okay.
Yeah, it was my favorite on the album, so I played this all. You probably heard it.
Yeah. But okay, so I'll just start up at the top, I guess.
Why not?
It's their fourth studio album. It was released March 9th, 2010. So right when we were both ending high school. And this album was the last album that keyboardist Josh Lyford was on.
There's not too terribly much keyboard on the album. Like
no.
If you listen to
there are a few songs where it's prevalent, but
if you listen to the record before, it's all over the place.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
And he was the one who screamed. Like the regular singers kind of gruff up their voices quite a bit.
Yeah, but he did actually had a scream. Yeah, exactly.
Not like that, but
yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna stop.
But anyway, so like the genre of this is kind of like pop punk or melodic hardcore.
Yeah, all the above.
I guess something like that.
Yeah, all the above.
This album debuted at number 47 on Billboard Top 200. So it was a pretty well received album. A lot of people liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I never really listened to 4 Year Strong very much. Mainly because I'm not really into the melodic hardcore music.
Fair enough.
The one thing I don't really like about this album is that it's very one-dimensional.
Yeah,
like,
I can see that.
The whole way through the album, it's one sound.
Absolutely.
And if you like that sound,
you're gonna love it.
Bully for you, or was that the saying?
I don't know.
Great for you.
When you say bully for you, that means here comes a bully to beat you up.
I don't think that's what it means.
Here comes a bully. Or if you have a dog, that means
a bully.
Here's a bully stick.
Here comes a bully.
I don't know if you know what bully sticks are, but dogs
like
love
a treat?
them. Kind of. Yeah, it is.
Is it like one of those rawhides that like a big?
It's like a stick, but it's made from
bullies,
cow parts, bull parts in particular.
Oh, a bully.
Yeah,
I got you.
Bull goods. But
enough about bull goods.
But dogs love them.
Yeah, I can imagine why.
Bully for you, Stanley the dog. No, I don't give them to him. They're really fattening, apparently.
But anyway, so to sum it up, I am not particularly fond of this album. The sound in general.
Yeah.
It kind of seems like it's kind of like cheesy, or you had said earlier, kind of corny.
Yeah, it's corny, but in an earnest way is how I would say. It's not corny as in like, I don't know. It was very intentional, everything that they did. Yeah, some of the I guess for me personally, some of like the guitar riffs or the strumming patterns, the melody choices, as much as there are melody choices in this album, which there are, but they're all kind of fairly boring is not the right word, because it's not a boring album. They're just kind of typical. Yeah, I could see that.
They're like, okay, I get it. It's catchy. I kind of like it, but I also don't really like it that much. It's like, I'll go back to this. It's not going to be one of the albums that it's not going to be one of the like 20 albums that I take with me on a road trip.
Fair enough.
Even though now we have Spotify and we can just, but
Yeah.
whatever.
I knew 4 Years Strong before this album came out from their previous album, which was called Rise or Die Trying. I liked a couple songs in there, but overall I wasn't the hugest fan. And then this album came out, and I didn't really listen to it as soon as it came out. But my buddy Jake played "Find My Way Back" a ton. I was like, "That's a good song." I guess I'm wrong. So I went on and bought it
Yeah.
a couple months after it came out, and I was like, "This is a good album." What was I hesitating for?
Yeah. But anyway,
Yeah.
on to track number 1, which is my first recommendation. The song is called "It Must Really Suck to Be 4 Years Strong Right Now."
Do you know how they got that title?
Yeah,
Okay.
there was some article that was written before this album came out, or I guess maybe between their third and this album.
Mm-hmm.
And what was it like talking about? What's the other band?
I can't remember the other band, but it was another band who had released an album that kind of like built upon the sound that they did on their previous album, did it way better.
Yeah,
And so they were trying to poop all over 4 Years Strong by saying, now that they put this out, it must really suck to be 4 Years Strong.
yeah. And so then I guess this is just kind of like a cheeky first song to have on the album. Be like, oh, really? It does suck to be us right now. Very, very poppy, very punky, or melodic, hardcore-y.
Yeah, I wouldn't say punky.
It's insanely catchy melodies, scream singing. Like a lot of the scream singing is like da 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 da, and it's just kind of like, okay.
I'm a
really,
mess, such a wreck, don't forget about it.
yeah, really, really chuggy, thick guitars.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the,
And that's throughout the entire album.
yeah, and various different breakdowns and whatnot.
Throughout their entire career.
Yeah.
Except for their follow-up album to this one, which is for another time.
Oh yeah, I'll have to listen to that at some point. But basically the main line from this is, don't fix it if it hasn't broken yet.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just saying like, hey, screw you, man. Like we're going to do
do.
what we want to do, and it's not broken yet. So we're just going to keep playing what we're playing.
Yeah, and they put this album out, and it was hugely successful, so good for them.
Yeah. So that's my first recommendation, because it is a catchy song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that little breakdown.
Yeah. Track number 2 is called "Tonight We Feel Alive."
On a
Parentheses,
Saturday.
on a Saturday.
Tonight.
Very, very similar sounding, just like the whole album,
Yeah.
except for one song is sounds a little bit different, only slightly. I guess this is maybe a song about like living in the moment or trying to seize the opportunities that one is presented with.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I'm a big fan of 4 Years Strong. In their writing, I think they use a lot of cliches.
They do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not there's anything wrong with it. I just noticed that a lot.
There was one song that before I learned the meaning of it, I was like, oh, that's so cliche and dumb. But then I looked up the meaning of the song. I was like, okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
I
There's
get
nothing
why
wrong
they
with
use it.
cliches, but I have always noticed that they love them.
Yeah, all their lyrics are very very
Cliched.
very cliche, very straightforward. Not too many metaphors. The song's messages really aren't very direct in what they mean, though.
Yeah,
as
it's hard to
well.
tell for sure.
So that's why I'm going to be saying a lot of, unless the band is very specific about what this song is about, I'll be like, it could be this. Maybe this one line is the meaning of the song.
Maybe.
On to my next recommendation, which is track number 3, which is called "Wasting Time." Parentheses, "Eternal Summer."
Wasted time. I think since I've seen them, because I never saw them before this album, but every time I've seen them
They
after,
probably play this song all the time, right?
they close with this song.
Really?
They're always
Yeah.
we hope most of you came with some friends, and this song is about being with friends.
Yeah.
So sing along with your friends.
Yeah,
Because we love friends.
Yeah, that's what this song is all about. It's about specifically the way that they felt in the summer of 2003.
Yeah.
And kind of kind of nostalgia, but also just longing for maybe a simpler time, or whenever it was easier or something like that, less less to do or less, I don't know, less whatever.
More in your youth, less adulty. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're just having fun, not caring about things as much.
Yeah, and it seems like that song is more pop punk than metal.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Like way,
I
it
do love
leans
that.
on that side of the scale.
Agreed. It's not as hardcore-y sounding,
Yeah.
not as screamy.
There aren't any screaming guitars. Like
I do like when the drums come in on the toms. They're just real punchy and real like Tommy. It's a cool beat. It's a really cool beat.
Yeah. So that's why I recommended that song. I like that song a lot. Track number 4 is called 19 with Neck Tats. Tats spelled Tatz.
That's a bad idea just for all of you guys who like tattoos. Unless you're like in an industry where neck tats are okay.
allowed.
Like if you're a tattoo artist or in a full-time band that is doing well.
Work in a coffee shop, like a hipster coffee shop.
Even then, you never know.
Oh, I'm sure it'd be fine there, right?
Most places, I'm sure you'd be fine, but you're going to severely limit your options going forward.
I'll bet I could even have a neck tattoo in my job.
Probably could.
I probably could. I'm not going to get one.
I don't think I'm
just
because
I have no desire to get a neck tattoo.
I don't either. I don't think they look. I mean, to each their own. It's not my aesthetic.
I do desire to get a hand tattoo though.
Hand tattoos, I think are cooler than
cool.
neck tattoos.
But anyway,
yeah. Aside from tattoos, back to 4 Year Strong and their neck tat song.
So nowhere in the song do they talk about having tattoos.
No,
I'm not exactly sure. Maybe it's just
a lot of their titles have nothing to
references like
do.
being young and reckless. Getting a neck tattoo? I don't know.
Could be.
The intro is a chant, which I do not like.
Yeah, that part seems a little cheesy to me.
It's like, they're just chanting at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I mean, it kind of fits with how the album sounds, so it's fine. But
to me,
whenever I hear it,
cheesy.
I'm always just like, no, thank you. Again, not exactly sure what the song's about. One of the lyrics that maybe would point to it is they say, "Can you prove to me that you're not dead and gone? Live my life standing strong."
Can you prove to me?
And then this is there's another line in it that I also found very cheesy. In the breakdown section, they say, "We built this city on heart and soul." Instead of rock and roll. And I was just like, oh, okay.
Or the, remember when Wilhelm screamed, we built this city on debts and booze?
Yeah.
I think that's that's a different song.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. If this is like your favorite band and this is like one of your favorite styles of music, more power to you.
Yeah.
It's definitely not for me. On to track number 5, which is my third recommendation.
Ooh.
It's called Find My Way Back.
Probably my favorite of all their songs in their catalog.
Yeah, it's
still holds up.
This song is definitely still more in the pop punk vein, because like in that time when a lot of bands like were doing the like the do 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 do.
Yeah.
This is like the do 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 do. So like this is like their song like that, whereas there's like one like lead guitar line that's like super catchy and memorable from the song that kind of holds it all together.
It's a really cool guitar line.
Yeah, the whole song is really good. The chorus is amazing. So I've got to find my way back.
Replace my
Stuff so I can prove to you that I'm a doodle-doodle-doodle.
And I like they're very. I mean, they're not like the best guitarists in the world.
Yeah.
They're very tight live. The whole band is.
Yeah.
But they do, like, since they're trading off vocal lines, there's two vocalists.
Yep.
One of them's playing that guitar line and not even batting an eye while singing. Like,
yeah, that's
like
pretty crazy.
Forcibly, like, singing.
Yeah.
And I'm not good at that. I can play chords and maybe small differing things while I sing, but I can't play lead lines and sing. It's difficult.
Yeah, it definitely is.
It takes a lot of practice.
Yeah, a lot of practice.
Ooh.
Excuse me. I think the song is about falling into hard times, whether self-induced or not. Realizing that you're kind of in a bad position and then trying to find your way back to a better place.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Sounds right to me.
Yeah, which is a good subject for a song.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely my favorite song on the album. On to track number 6, which is another one of those songs where you don't really know what the title means. Well, I mean, I know what the title means. If you were just look at the title by itself, but as it relates to the song, I have no idea. It's called "What the Hell Is a Gigawatt?" or Gigawatt. Gigawatt. I mean, obviously that's a reference to Back to the Future.
1.21 gigawatts.
And then what's that guy's name? The other guy, not the crazy scientist, but what's the actor's name for the other guy? Michael Fox?
Yeah, Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox is like, what the hell is a gigawatt? Anyway, the song has a lot of screaming. No idea what the song is really about. There's a huge breakdown in the bridge, which is fairly typical of their songs.
They love breakdowns.
They love the breakdowns. If you are thinking about a breakdown in like a heavy metal song, that's not exactly the same thing. This is a melodic hardcore breakdown where there's a lot of rhythmic, palm muted guitars, and a lot of double bass drums. On to track number 7, which is called "One Step at a Time," and this is the song that at first I was like, oh, it's such a cliche thing to say, like, oh, one step at a time, one foot in front of the other, just like that. It's like that one song from that one Santa movie. You put one foot in front of the other, and soon you'll be walking across the floor.
I love that song.
I know, it's great.
Put one foot in front
of the other. But anyway, this is my honorable mention. Dan O'Connor, which I believe is one of the vocalists.
Yes.
He wrote this song for his brother who was battling cancer, and who eventually passed away from cancer.
Oh wow.
So one of the lines that I really like from this song is when he says, "'Cause I know it's warmer where you are, 'cause no matter how far the view, I still always look up to you." So he was like basically like writing this song to his brother, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it makes it a lot heavier.
So yeah, so whenever at first I was like, oh, one step at a time, put one foot in front of the other, I was like, oh, it's so cheesy. But then it means a lot more whenever you know why he wrote the song, and he's like just trying to take it one day at a time. So yeah, that was my honorable mention. Very much like that song.
Good mention.
Yeah. On to track number 8, which is called "The Body Pays the Bill $sign."
This body pays the bills. Is that what it's called?
The body pays the bills.
Kind of like when you got a good body and it's paying the bills.
Yeah, pretty much. That might be what it's about. It's about a girl.
I don't know.
One of the lines in the song is, "She'll always be a lifelong tragedy. That's how I know she's the one for me."
Classic.
There are a lot of like songs at that time that were always like, "Oh, I know she's a mess, but that makes her perfect for me, man."
Well, because they're a mess too. Everyone's a mess.
Yeah.
I mean, messes are good.
Yeah. But so
I'm a wreck, such a mess. Don't forget about it.
Yeah. So that's that song. I'm just gonna kind of breeze through the rest of these because the rest of them were just kind of meh. Track number 9 is called "Paul Revere's Midnight Ride."
We all know Paul Revere.
Yeah, we do.
Rest his soul.
He lit the candles, signaling where the British were coming.
One
if by
land?
sea, 2 if by land. 1 if by land, 2 if by sea.
I don't know which one it is. It's one or the other.
It's one or the other.
And soon Paul is racing,
lighting down the candles
across the shore. Put one candle in front of the other
if they're coming by sea. I think this song is about kind of like finding a reason to live, or like taking a chance on something that you have a passion for. I think.
Fair enough. Sounds right to me.
Not exactly sure if that's right, but
I don't know. It sounds right.
On to track number 10, which is the best title of the entire album. It's called "Flannel is the Color of My Energy."
I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of these guys, but they're big dudes with huge beards, so I can see them wearing flannels very often.
I think it's a great title for a song. It's just so silly and dumb, but I love it.
It's the one that starts out with a drum beat.
Yeah, then this is the one song where I believe it's not a guitar part that's playing; it's a keyboard part.
Yeah, I think so.
It sounds kind of like a keyboard. So it's really catchy. The song is about not wanting to live with someone, not wanting to live without someone.
Mm-hmm.
One of the main lines is, "I don't want to live another day without your company."
Straightforward.
Very straightforward.
Yep. No questions there.
On to the last song, which is called "Enemy of the World."
I like this one.
It is a good one.
It's got some fast stuff. I'm afraid to be just an example of inconsistency.
Yeah, some
Super
very,
fast.
very fast drums. Really catchy song. And it seems like it's a song about pressing onward when you feel like the world's against you.
Yeah, when you're an
I
enemy
guess
of the
when
world.
you're an enemy of the world, or just in general, pushing through hard times.
Yeah.
So overall, I give the album a 5 out of 10.
Did it grow on you at all?
A little bit,
Yeah, but most albums will if you
but
listen to them
it didn't. Yeah, it didn't grow on me as much as other albums that you've recommended to have in the past.
I was wondering if this one would. I figured it might be a tough one for you.
Yeah, I'm just not really a fan of that melodic hardcore sound.
You might like their next album.
Could be.
Maybe in the future. We'll see. I don't know.
Didn't I think a lot of people when we went to Geneva really liked them. Like Travis Trout.
All of them were bigger fans of them before this album. All the guys. What was their band called? Travis and Robert
Capuano.
All those guys loved 4 Years Strong with their first the record before this.
Oh, okay, that's how that's what I was thinking of then.
Josh Western liked them too.
Yeah.
Josh Kins.
But anyway, yeah, I mean, the album's fine.
Yeah, it's just
good.
not your.
It's just not my.
Not in your
definitely,
wheelhouse.
definitely not my cup of tea. It's just average for me.
Fair enough. Looking forward to next week. We'll be back. This time I will be the one doing the reviewing.
Yes.
The album is Immunity.
Immunity.
Diplomatic Immunity by Claro.
Yeah, it's a more recent one, 2019.
Yeah, that's pretty
I
darn
believe.
recent. If
So,
you ask me.
I mean, it
Like a
is
10-year
less-
gap almost between the two records.
Yeah, well, hey, pretty much 10 years since that 4 Year Strong album came out. Came out on March 9th, and we're recording this on the 28th of February.
Yeah,
So
just about 10 years.
just about 10 years. Pretty crazy.
Any thoughts on the beer? Has it warmed up?
The flavors have gotten more intense.
I think the bitterness is really
The
pushing
bitterness
through more.
is really, really way more present now.
Yeah, it's
Which I don't mind it.
it's getting stony
Yeah.
in a good way though.
Yeah, it's definitely a stone beer.
Yeah, I like this, but it's intense. Not sure
yeah.
if I could have more than like a bomber of this, or not a bomber, like a pint.
Yeah.
It's a heavy, like real intense IPA.
Yeah, it's a heavy hitter.
Yeah, it's a good one though.
Which I don't mind. I like it.
Yeah. Shall we finish our beers?
We shall.
As we always say on American Brews and Tunes. Down the belch hatch. Wow, we've been doing this podcast for 3 years strong, I think.
Have we really? No, 2.5, right?
I don't know.
Because we started it in 2018. Yeah.
2 years strong.
Was it summer 2018?
No, it was like,
Was it like winter?
yeah,
Fall?
winter.
Yeah.
We posted
'cause
the
it
first
was-
one. It was either late December or early January. I can't remember.
Yeah, because we decided to do it right after we talked to that. Well, right after we went to MTSU to record with that one weirdo
David something.
who never used our songs.
Yeah, he was a character.
And we were like, what if we had a podcast? What would it be about? We were like,
Beer
and music.
And then we did it.
Yeah.
Cheers to us.
And hey,
Anyways, be sure to check out next week's episode. I'm sure it'll be a good one. I can't say for sure because it hasn't happened, but I'm willing to bet on that. I'll roll the dice.
I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to roll one dice, and I'm willing to say that it's going to be, if it's a 1 through 6, it will be a good episode.
Deal.
We're using a normal dice.
Yes.
Die, I mean.
A dodecadi.
Dodecahedron die.
Too many. All right, my name's Steven Johnson,
And my name is Jesse Titus.
and this is American Brews and Tunes.
Yeah.
Here's a theme song, you know it's not a mean song. It's a good song, just as it should song. American Brews and Tunes. Shibbity beeby da.